I am here to talk about the latest 4K purchase on Blu-ray that has come out from Arrow Video, and it is the 2021 film The Sadness, directed by Canadian filmmaker Rob Jabaz. It is a Taiwanese film, so it is a subtitled film. Like me, if you're going to be watching a subtitled film, I tend to have to be in a mood to watch a subtitled film, but this is one I do highly recommend. I first saw The Sadness when it was released and it dropped onto the Shudder platform, so I'm guessing that's probably like 4 years ago, something like that. Say 2021 film. The Sadness it's one of those horror gems that comes out when you watch a lot of horror films. It's really nice when you come across a film that does something different or elevates that wow. Just when I thought I'd pretty much seen everything a horror film can throw at me, this film's throwing something else at me. And The Sadness is most definitely one of those. Let's say it is a film that I saw first on Shudder and second on Shudder. The third time I viewed it was on the 4K Blu-ray, the Arrow one, which has just come out. 20th of October it was released. I was fortunate enough to be able to get my hands on the screener disc. This film has never looked better, as you would expect with a 4K restoration. Yes, films look great. I never had an issue with the way the film looked on Shudder. It looked fine. I love the movie. But there is something just so special about this film on 4K UHD Blu-ray. I love the fact that this film has come out in physical media. I think it's probably had a physical media release before, but this edition is coming pretty feature-packed. Now, there are some highs and there are some lows, but all in all, the overall review of this is a high. Now, for those of you who haven't seen The Sadness, it was released around the time of the pandemic. Yes, we all remember that. And it does have sort of a pandemic feel to it. The storyline it is set in Taiwan, although is the thing worldwide? It will probably become worldwide. I would hope they do sequels at some point. And it talks about this virus that they call the Alvin virus. Now, the Alvin virus, within the world of The Sadness, they say it's just like the flu, or it doesn't exist. Wow, who can make stuff like that up? But it is a very real virus, as we see very quickly within the film. Now, the Alvin virus it is kind of like a COVID-y type virus. It's very contagious, but it's also more like rabies. It's more like the rage virus from 28 Days Later. Once you're infected with it, you really want to attack somebody else and do other things to other people as well in a weird sadomasochistic way. Super gory film. What I learned from watching the special features and listening to the commentaries on this film is that 99% of the effects in this movie are practical. They're not wall-to-wall CGI and blood effects, which I'm so glad there is a chat track with one of the makeup, that does focus on the makeup artist. Actually, the chat track that we get, which I'll talk about the commentaries in a minute, all three commentaries do feature the writer-director Rob Jabaz, but he also brings with them other people as well. But I'll get onto that in a few minutes. The Sadness is one of those super tense films. It runs for 99 minutes. Spends the first 15 minutes setting up the world. So we meet Jim, we meet Kat, we realize they're a loving couple. Kat goes out, all hell breaks loose in Taiwan. We see news broadcasts, we see mobile phone alerts, all sorts of craziness going on. And the sort of premise of the movie is Jim wants to rescue Kat. She's out and about in the world. He wants to meet up with her and get the hell out of this chaos. That's the very basic premise of The Sadness. Spends about 15 minutes setting that up. And then what Rob, the writer-director, does, he then lights the touch paper around the 15-minute mark. All hell breaks loose until the end of the film at the 99-minute mark. This film is just wall-to-wall, wonderful insanity. As I said, it's not for the weak-stomached. So if you can't stand gore effects, there are probably things in The Sadness that will make you feel a little bit ropey. I've seen the film 3 times now and I still feel a bit queasy at a couple of the scenes. One of them involving an eye socket. If you've seen the film, you know which scene I'm talking about. It was very hard to find still images of the film that I could use within this video that didn't feature crazy blood effects or gore. And I don't want YouTube getting mad at me, so you've got a couple of stills within this video just to avoid looking at my face all the time. But this film is wall-to-wall craziness. I absolutely love the sadness. Now let's get on to the special features. It isn't feature-packed, but there are more than enough features in the disc to really keep you happy. So for fans of audio commentaries, there's a brand new commentary with the film's cinematographer Bai J. Lee and Rob Jabaz, who does feature on all the commentaries. There are 3 on this disc. So that is a really good chat track to listen to. The second one features Rob and the film's composers, Chechar. I've probably pronounced that wrong, I do apologise. So we're going to obviously learn a lot about the music and how to help build the atmosphere of the sadness. And then this third chat track, which I haven't yet listened to, but I'm fascinated by this whole chat track in general. It features Rob Jabaz and also medical advisor Shu. I've never listened to a chat track that features a medical advisor before, so I'm very much looking forward to checking that out on on my free time later on today. I was going to check it out before I did this video. Unfortunately, real life stuff's got in the way, so I'm not going to be able to check that out until later on, and I wanted to get this video up and running. So you've got, 3 audio tracks, which for a near enough 100-minute film, you've got about 5 hours worth of chat tracks there. So that's the upside. That's one of the highs that I mentioned. Now also on this disc, you do get 6 behind the scenes featurettes. It's actually 5, but there's an extra one, so why not just call it 6? They are as follows. The Director, which is a short chat track with Rob Jabaz, 3 minutes long. 3 minutes is not enough, especially when you've had Rob chatting all the way through the film. So it is a short, but it's better than not being there, isn't it? There is also a featurette called The Businessman, which features actor Wang Shu Chang, which runs for over 3 minutes. That is English subtitled, that featurette. The Special Effects is the next featurette, which features makeup artist Victor Chang. That is just a 68-second featurette. I would happily have watched an hour with this makeup effects one. I would love to have seen that one. The next one is The Art Department, which features art director Liu Chin Fu, which is a minute long. And then The Production, which is a little bit healthier. That's at 5 minutes. Again, it's still not super long, but it's 5 minutes, better than 1 minute. And then the final one is Color Grading Comparison with colorist Paul Hanrahan, which is 11 minutes. So that's actually a better running time for the featurettes on that one. So just to sort of bulk out and make the release more interesting, just in case it does need to be more interesting, I don't think it does. There are 2 short films on here, both short films that Rob Jabaz has done previously. The first one is called Clearwater, which was released in 2020. That's a 6-minute storyline. And actress Joan Lalou plays a girl, so she's an unnamed girl. She's a young woman who's sitting by a riverbank, relaxing in the sun in a bikini. She then gets bitten by a mosquito. And then it's very quickly becomes quite evident that there's some sort of force of nature at work, and that wants more than a drop of blood that the mosquito watches. Fun short film, interesting to watch. The next one, which is 3 minutes, and this is an animated short film, and it seems to be pretty much dialogue free, and it's called Fiendish Funnies from 2013. Now, those eagle-eyed people who have seen The Sadness, Fiendish Funnies does feature in the film The Sadness. There is a moment when Jim is clicking through the TV channels and he comes across this weird animated sequence where it's like wolves marching and black and white animation going on. That is Fiendish Funnies, so that is featuring in the film of The Sadness. So it's very, very interesting. There is finally a 7-minute and 39-second premiere introduction, as well as a post-screening Q&A featuring Rob, and that was done at the 2021 Fantasia International Film Festivals. I love Q&A panels. I've hosted many of them in my years, and I always enjoy watching other people's, and that was quite a fascinating one. It is short, 7 minutes 39, but it's still great that they've included that in here. For the fans of packaging, you get a nice reversible sleeve with the original artwork as well as new artwork by Johnny Ryan. There's also a collector's booklet featuring storyboards, and they're basically, there's something called a gore guide in there, which is quite interesting. So all in all, would I recommend The Sadness? Hell yes. I think the film's incredible. I think it's great. I've seen it 3 times. I would happily watch it once a year. I'd put it in my Halloween rotation along with Halloween and Night of the Living Dead and The Omen and stuff like that. It looks glorious on 4K. It sounds great on 4K. And the special features, whilst the featurettes are quite short and minimal, the fact that there's 3 commentaries on there does make up for the fact you will become a bit of a sadness expert once you've finished the film. So the film is now out on 4K Blu-ray. Retails $29.99. You probably shop around to find out which websites and stuff you're happier buying with. But great work by Arrow, and that film gets my thumbs up. So I hope you watch it and I hope you enjoy it.